Hey guys, what's going on? Back again with another Vanguard Zombies video. As you guys know, last week we got the release of Shinonuma in Vanguard. It's the newest iteration of Shinonuma to come to Call of Duty Zombies, dating back originally from World at War. But with that being said, one of the radios that we got in the map is one that you can hear Gabriel Kraft mentioning and talking about Scarlett's father, Alistair Rhodes, how Gabriel Kraft admired and studied the works of Alistair Rhodes, and that officially, for some people, I would say the casual zombie YouTubers, not the OG Vanguard, or what I'm calling the OG Vanguard players that have been playing since day one, but the new casual toxic zombie YouTubers that are jumping back into the Vanguard, I guess maybe because there's not really any other content going on, or they don't really know how to make any other content. Vanguard is too difficult for them. Some of them even mentioned they can't get past round 10. But with that being said, they put a new, or what I called another Easter egg for the Chaos story in the game, tying together now the Dark Ether / Ether story with the Chaos story from Black Ops 4. If you're not really familiar with Black Ops 4, I'm going to give you a really quick recap. So Black Ops 4 started with the Chaos story and some Ether maps. As you guys know, if you've been around or maybe watch other videos, the Chaos story was way too difficult. Exactly what's going on with Vanguard Zombies is the exact same thing that happened in Black Ops 4. The Chaos story maps were difficult. Some of them were really tight quarters, like the Titanic map. Some of them are wide open, like 9, which 9 was hands down the most favored map from the YouTubers because it was the easiest, wide open, and Easter egg was easy. And you had a lot of space to run around, whereas Titanic was extremely difficult. It was really tight. You can't escape many places when you go inside the ship and the bottom of the Titanic and stuff like that. Again, with that being said, with that Chaos story was supposed to come factions. Factions was a idea that Treyarch and Call of Duty had, where they would have 4 groups, and then each week each group would have different challenges. I'm not exactly 100% sure if it would have been head-to-head challenges. Kind of reminds me of almost like fantasy sports, where one group would play against the other group for the week. Whoever had the most points, either by kills or rounds or whatever the criteria was, that faction would have won. Maybe like some loot, some skins, some cosmetics, some points, some XP, whatever they had the idea of back then. Now that idea comes from somewhere else, which I'm not going to mention, but basically you would have to answer. How they should have done it you would answer a bunch of questions, and it would put you into a group depending on your personality and stuff like that. It would kind of decide if you like to help your teammates. You would probably maybe put in a factions medic group or something like that. Again, this is kind of ideas how it should be, and I'm kind of roping it into how if factions ends up coming in either Vanguard Year 2 or Year 3, or in the new Black Ops 6 Zombies map in 2024, with the possibility, again, because of that radio and other Easter eggs that were in Vanguard from day one, that now it looks like maybe they're testing the waters and trying to have the Chaos story come back, see if it's something that people would enjoy, the characters in Scarlet Rhodes. Even going back as Cold War, where if you look at the way they decided to use Samantha Max's, it's very similar to the way Scarlet was supposed to be, where she was one person, the protagonist, on a mission trying to find her father, even though that even parallels Samantha from Black Ops 1 and Black Ops 2 and Black Ops 3, where she and her father were always separated, Samantha being in the Agartha, and Max is trying to find her, or vice versa. They were always separated. Samantha got, I guess, not really banished, but Samantha got lost in the ether, and I think Max's was the one was Agartha trying to find her and the beacon and all that stuff. So the stories were always similar, and that was something that always puzzled me too. That the toxic zombie YouTubers didn't like the chaos story, but I'm like, hey, it's the exact same story. They're both looking for a book. Um, One being the Chronorium, and Medusa looking for the book in the Library of Alexandria and stuff like that. So it was always similar. So that stuff always puzzled me. Why? Well, I know why. It's because toxic zombie YouTubers know that whenever they put a negative toxic spin or title or thumbnail, people are going to watch it and click on it. It's just the way that humans are. They gravitate or more interested in negative toxic stuff than positive stuff, because everybody thinks their life is the most miserable, so they can relate to other miserable stuff and whatever. Like, how many positive people do you really know in your life? Maybe like one out of like 10,000 or something like that. So with that being said, it now opens the door of factions coming back in a future game, either again like Black Ops 6 or Vanguard, where they can have the idea of tying it also again to the chaos story, and maybe having you decide, maybe through answering questions, maybe you play like ranked. I think the best idea, which would be a little bit more immersive and a little bit more hands-on, is have you play maybe 10 or maybe even 20 zombies maps. Probably 20 might be the better number, because even in ranked, there's a lot of people who don't deserve to be in multiplayer ranked. They just want to play it just to kind of boost their egos and say, hey, I play in ranked modes, but then they're just like god awful. Same exact thing happens in zombies. People want to play, and then they're pretty bad at it, and they probably should practice a little bit more. Again, with that being said, maybe play a couple maps and Call of Duty decides what faction, or recommends what faction you should be in. If you play submachine gun, if you play assault rifle, shotgun, sniper rifles, it'll put you in that faction. Or you can intermingle between factions and decide if you want to try out this faction for the week, and then that faction might have challenges, bonus XP, bonus weapons, bonus cosmetics. And then next week it might be like the assault rifle faction, or next week's the shotgun faction. Each faction has their own different perks and gameplay and stuff like that, which funny enough is something that they also tried in multiplayer in World War II, but that again, people just complained about it. It was not a bad idea. It worked really well. Maybe that's why they were going to try it in zombies. However, going forward, it would be something cool that they can try again in Chaos Story. I don't know why I have it paused, but it's pausing right now. It's gameplay that I made from Shinonuma Day 1. But now, again, like I said, it opens the door of factions returning with the Chaos Story, or it could just be the Chaos Story Easter eggs, or just one little Easter egg that they put in, one or two Easter eggs that they put in the map, alongside other Ether storyline. Maybe it's just a compilation of different Easter eggs from different stories and modes and stuff like that. Because there are Ether Easter eggs in Vanguard, and now there's more and more Easter eggs from the Chaos Story showing up in Vanguard. Again, with that being said, have different factions. You could either do by specialty weapon, maybe even the way they're kind of doing the Lords of the Dark Ether, I'll call it, because I'm bad with names. How each faction, like if you want to side with some of the specialty weapons or specialty perks, I guess I'll call it, that each will have more than one specialty. Instead of Frost Blast or Ring of Fire, they can have different specialties within those, where instead of having a Ring of Fire, maybe you shoot like a fireball or a snowball of ice or something like that, or a ball of ice. Maybe it snows on the map and it like freezes a bigger area, where those can now be the factions. That could be one idea. I kind of really like I said, the ranked idea, where it's more hands-on, where it'll see if you're playing more with submachine guns, and then it'll decide like what your specialty is going to be or what group or faction you're going to be in. Because I don't see them bringing back the Chaos story without maybe revamping factions, because factions got scrapped when, again, like I mentioned, the Chaos story got scrapped and they went back to Ether because, again, zombie YouTubers are toxic, and you know they wanted stuff they were familiar with. They wanted easier maps they were familiar with. Obviously, we got Nuketown reimagined. We got Call of the Dead reimagined. We got Mob of the Dead reimagined. Those were all stuff and maps that they knew. When it comes to newer maps, tougher enemies, YouTubers are pretty bad at it, if not the worst, like I've mentioned. They're no longer the part of the zombie community. They're just kind of like the media that no matter what Call of Duty Treyarch does, they have to put a negative spin on it to create money through videos and toxic videos and hate videos. They no longer care about the mode. They might pretend like they care about the mode, but they honestly don't. They don't care who from Call of Duty Treyarch gets fired. They just want to pump out the most negative and hateful videos and stuff like that. They don't care what voice actors never get work again because, you know, Chaos Story got scrapped, because the Ether story, they were begging for it to end. Also in Black Ops 4 or Black Ops 3, they wanted a new story, so they tried a new story in Black Ops 4 with the Chaos. So it'll never end with the toxic zombie YouTubers. Whereas the zombies community, they'll pretty much love every game and give it a shot and try it. Like I said, they are now what I'm considering day one Vanguard players, whereas we have the casual YouTubers that are now jumping on the Vanguard bandwagon because of one Easter egg that they've noticed, even though there's been multiple Chaos Story Easter eggs in Vanguard, Enduring Fang, Terra Maledicta, and stuff like that. So again, with that being said, I would love the idea of, you know, factions coming back either through not trial and error, but pretty much trials, maybe through answering questions. Maybe you just get to choose what you want to play as this week, give the bonuses for that faction, maybe have each faction have its own challenges. Anyways, let me know what you guys think, or if you have any ideas what factions should look like in maybe Vanguard Year 2, Year 3, or maybe Black Ops 6 in a couple years. See you guys later.